Matt the sponsor?
Activate Learning is the sponsor and founder of the MAT.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it. And then the MAT is kind of the umbrella for the schools.
That's the vehicle through which we operate the schools.
Okay. Yeah, it's been trickier as the schools have been coming under the MAT format to kind of just understand that relationship a little bit. So because all the UTCs and studio schools are now coming under that.
That's it, and we set up here and Oxfordshire as separate trusts because that's what you had to do 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Now we've just actually, as of the 1st of April, had ministerial approval to transfer them into the MAT.
Oh, brilliant! Okay.
So here and Oxfordshire and Vista are all now in that one MAT.
Great.
But we operated as a MAT anyway.
So it was more just the paperwork and the kind of official...
Yeah, all the heads in that group of schools met on a termly basis to work on common problems. And they were doing that anyway without the formal structure of a MAT.
That's great. Okay. So as a sponsor, what do you see? You described this a little bit in terms of that back office support and things like that. But what do you see your role being in a studio school?
It's strategic. So actually thinking about things on a strategic footing. So, for example, creating the MAT is something that no one of the individual schools would think to do.
Yeah.
So we've created that MAT, that vehicle. We're navigating the political landscape that changes
on a daily basis.
On a daily, hourly, if not minute basis. So that's important. The appointment of the senior head teachers in each school and the way in which we support and nourish them, I think, is very important. Okay. They do not exist as little islands isolated from the world. They work together. I'm down here today. I've got a one-to-one. I have a one-to-one meeting with all the heads every fortnight. Okay. So that's why I'm here. I've been meeting the head of this place. Okay. She's told me something today, which there's a deadline, which I've then texted the other heads to say, are you on top of the deadline? So, they...
Kind of help them keep connected.
Yeah, so we connect them, we appoint, connect, nourish, support that group. I think that's quite important. We create the model for back office services, which I think is something we've touched on. I'm connected to DFE and central government from the political landscape point of view. Yeah. We're also connecting. Connecting is a word we'll probably use again and again. Connecting our schools and colleges. Okay. Because part of Activate's main core business is FE colleges. So I think that's an untapped seam of gold, actually, because schools and colleges exist in two different places, and rarely do they talk. We're doing quite a lot of interesting work connecting up schools and colleges. So, for example, our heads of maths and English in schools and colleges are all working together at the moment on how we make that better, and are working on joint masterclasses for students, for the gifted and talented. And all that. So again, I'd put that under the sort of strategy banner. How do we connect up Richard with the colleges so he can develop a richer provision for maths education in a small school? Well, he does that by joining up with James Clark, our head of maths in the colleges. And they've just run a big sort of masterclass series in Bicester for top grade students.
Oh, that's been really interesting, actually.
So it's stuff like that that a sponsor that we do. I suppose we're also on the lookout for new opportunities to bid for new schools. Okay. And we're also working on bringing schools into our MAT.
Oh, okay.
So we've just acquired UTC Swindon, which we didn't set up. Okay. But is in a bit of difficulty, so we've
as is the case with quite a few UTCs and studio schools.
So we feel we've got a model where we can welcome them into our family, and we've just done that.
Congratulations!
Yeah, because we need scale too.
Yeah,
we've now got 6 schools, and with 6 schools you can do a bit more of some things that you couldn't do with 4, 3, 2.
Financially.
Yeah,
Okay.
joint posts.
Okay.
So joint business development posts.
Okay.
Joint employer relations.
Managers and things.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to focus a little bit on STEM and a little bit on the 14 to 19 curriculum, if that's okay. So why the focus on STEM? Why do you think it's important? Mm-hmm. You touched a little bit on skills gaps and kind of filling the skill gap. So
why? Well, part of our role in education is to respond to local need. Mm-hmm. And we've been reading for perhaps 10 years now that this area of the country is in desperate need for more level 3, particularly technician level appointment, level people in science, engineering and technology. Mm-hmm. So it's our job to respond to that, really. And that's what we're doing. So all the LEP reports, all the skills board reports that have been published, as I say, probably in the last decade, have all pointed to the need for more of this type of provision. So we're simply responding to that. Okay. Our overall strategy in Activate has developed more acutely as well to be that of a pipeline of talent for business. That's effectively our new mission. Okay. So we're trying to connect STEM education with a high density of STEM businesses in our locality as being actually that pipeline of talent. So that's really that's the nub of it, really.
Okay. And so what do you think you touched on this a little bit, almost like an academic technical school or an academic STEM school. What does that mean? Because a lot of people talk STEM, but what does that really mean to be a STEM school?
Yeah. Well, it means first and foremost you have to have a strong academic bedrock. You can't be a good engineer or a good scientist unless you have good command of English and good command of numbers. So you can't ignore that. So you've got to have it's got to be a highly academic and not be frightened of saying that it's a highly academic offer of English and maths and science as the main sort of bedrock. The technical, which I rather use than vocational, the technical is really an application of that academic backbone. Okay. Yeah. So, and we do that application through two means. One, alongside the academic, we offer a technical education, like a BTEC. But more so, we offer application through what we call our employer challenges or projects. Okay. Yeah. So all of our employers that we work with operate projects where they provide a problem to the students.
Almost like a case study and...
Yeah, and the students work on those in sort of project groups. So that gives you the application. So it's a strong academic bedrock alongside some technical qualifications and some real world challenges as to how you apply that academic and technical knowledge in the world of work. And we put as much store on developing work-ready attributes as we do as the technical skills. Okay. So we're consciously developing the students' capacity to problem solve, work in teams, communicate, etc., etc. And that is the holistic view of what we're trying to offer. Okay. And I think sometimes, just calling it vocational as an alternative to academic is a dumbing down. And that type of dumbing down product of the system is of no use to these employers that have got skills gaps.
Okay. So what role do you think you could, as a sponsor, play? Because you kind of touched on this, want to call it technical versus vocational to really stress that. So what role do you think sponsors play in kind of guiding that discussion and that rhetoric, if you will, on the technical versus vocational?
Within the schools, do you mean?
Within and outside, actually.
And outside. Yeah. Well, first of all, I think they should play a role.
Okay.
I think